What's poppin'?
What it do?
What up? Welcome to another week of Cool Kids Radio. It is your friend, Smokey Booster.
And your host with the most, DJ Cheech.
Oh, we actually have a guest here with us today. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the folks.
Hello, I am Anna Temple Rodney.
Nice to meet you, Anna.
Yes, thank you.
Anna is actually here to be interviewed today because she is a Reiki master and also a yoga teacher, correct?
Yes.
Yes, so we're gonna, I think you actually contacted me after we had that metaphysics show. We actually, it was after that we touched on Reiki and, things like that. So I figured it'd be great to have her come on since tonight our topic's going to be astrology. They all kind of fall under the same New Age hat, so.
Full moon on the 10th.
Yeah, so I figure, we might as well kick off the night with the interview. Okay. So I figure we jump right in. If you're ready for it.
I'm always ready.
But yeah, so, just kind of introduce yourself essentially to people in terms of like formally what you do, where you do it and everything.
Okay, so I'm Anna Temple Rodney. Most people know me as Temple. I am a Reiki master, which is an energy healer. I've been practicing for about 10 years. I've been a Reiki master for, my son is 2, so about 3 years. I'm also a yoga instructor. I've been teaching at Sid Yoga Studio at 321 York Road since February of this year. I teach fluffy yoga for everybody.
Fluffy yoga.
Yes.
That's dope because
like
me and my girl was just doing yoga the other day in the living room, and it was like a lot of the positions aren't for fluffy people. So it's like.
So it's not necessarily that they aren't for fluffy people, it's that we need extra considerations to get there.
Those modifications.
There
you go.
Because
There you
it's all
go.
about stretching, right?
Yeah. So there are poses and asanas that I was not able to do by any stretch of the imagination in February, that after practicing daily 3 to 5 times a week, which is not daily, but 3 to 5 times a week, I can now do, and I'm growing stronger and deeper in my practice. I after completing phase 1 teacher training at Sid Yoga, I decided that, I was invited to come and teach because I made a post about, accepting my body and finding beauty in it where I normally hadn't, just because of what I was sowing into it as far as my health and my wellness. And I decided I wanted to call it fluffy because,
It's catchy.
I'm
it's
fluffy,
cute.
and I'm not, I think fluffy is I'm nice and soft, and you want to, fluff me and cuddle and things like that. So that's where fluffy yoga came from. I also practice in the studio. So if you're interested in a session at the studio, you can come to the studio. If you're in this, I don't know if they know where we're at, but if you're kind of in the Center City, Reservoir Hill kind of area, I also have a studio in my home that I practice Reiki out of. So
okay, sounds good. I may hit you up. I really want to do a Reiki session.
Okay.
I had actually bought a Groupon to go do one for my birthday back in March, but like the place just kept being unavailable for whatever reason. I had a hard time getting in, so I wound up just canceling it. Yeah. But I would love to do it, so I'll probably be hitting you up.
Awesome. It definitely sounds dope.
Like, from what I just like, I can tell that few of my chakras are out of whack based on certain things, and I know certain ones specifically are. So I really would love to see what cleansing them would do for me in terms of like just day-to-day life.
I think it's a beautiful thing to kind of come into awareness of where you are and to be empowered to be able to shift that if you need to. And so that's part of my job, part of my excitement. Like, I do this full time. Like, I'm a Reiki, like when people ask me what I do, I'm a Reiki master, and I'm a doula, and I'm a
right. You are a doula.
Yes, I am a doula. I'm a doula, and I'm a yoga teacher, and that's what pays my bills. That's what puts food on the table. Right. That's what buys my son diapers. So I'm excited because it's a thing, and people are really starting to understand the connection from mind, body, spirit, and putting importance on putting importance on, your spiritual alignment. So
yeah, you definitely need people like that in the world, like positive energy healers and things like that. Because especially nowadays, there's so much negativity around.
Right.
So like, when did you notice like this is something that I want to do? Like, when did you notice a change in your life after you started practicing and doing different things?
Well, to be honest, I've always been a healer. Like when I was little, I grew up in Baptist church. Shout out Sharon Baptist, if anybody's watching.
Okay.
They're probably not watching this show.
Just,
yeah, but hey,
case.
It sounds good.
But I grew up in Southern Baptist church, and I had a lot of concerns and issues because I had these abilities, or I call it being intuitive, and sensitive, empathic. And there was never any explanation as far as, well, what does this mean for me spiritually? So I kind of would push it off, but I would get messages, and people would prophesize and things like that. Oh, you're a healer, this and that. And it always resonated with me. I'm a caretaker. And so 11 years ago, I was getting really bad migraines. If it's okay, he can come over here.
I was like, yeah, come on. Come on over
here. He's not having it.
It is okay. The cool kids have a real cool kid.
Yes, he's the coolest of the kids.
He actually is dressed very cool.
He is.
So he's already camera ready. He can come on over. Hey, boo,
he just needs to stop whining.
Come here, baby.
Come here, love.
Hi.
Daddy had rehearsal, so of course mommy's radio show didn't matter.
Mommy duties don't ever stop. Oh, but he don't want to come.
Okay, well he just wants to get up and walk.
Okay,
that's fine.
Do you think
but so short answer to that is 10 to 11 years ago, I was having really bad headaches, and somebody was like, "You need to go do Reiki," and I was like, "What? Reiki? Woo?" And so she's my Reiki practitioner. She ended up being my teacher for a couple of my Reiki levels, Navashadaya. I went to her home, and she kind of gave me Reiki, and it cleared up my migraines. And at the end of the session, she was like, "You're a healer," and I was like,
"Here we
go again."
Here we go.
So,
can't stop your calling,
right? And you can't. And that's the thing that I'm coming into awareness. And when you're in your calling, when you're in your purpose, it doesn't really matter what it looks like to other people. Everything is kind of provided for you. Don't you dare.
This way, boo. Right.
Yeah. So y'all gonna get the mommy healer realness right now.
Both moms. So it's like, hey. All right. What'd you say? Oh no.
Oh no. Did something happen? Okay. So that's where I'm at, and I'm just kind of settling in. After my son was born, I really didn't have much choice but to stay home with him, and
perfect timing.
Perfect timing, divine timing.
Everything does happen in the
I
timing.
like that. Right. Divine timing.
Timing literally, like, it falls into place as it's supposed to.
Right. So, and here I am, and I'm really into the law of attraction. I did some training. I was trained in Tantra, which is a whole different thing. Not what everybody expects.
Because you think you're automatically. I'm like, oh yeah, you go.
Stop. Hey, yo.
But but Tantra has a lot to do with manifestation and using your energetic power for manifestation, as well as energy healing. And sometimes you can energy heal.
Do other things.
That's very true.
Physically, but it has a lot to do with that. So having this space to sit down and not be in the rat race and say, this is what I want my life to look like. And then 2 years later, really being able to land in that is, I think, really important and a testament of the work that I get to do and the work that I'm trying to influence others to kind of be open to.
You'd love to be my mentor.
Say word.
I'd love to be up in your studio. Oh.
Come on.
Positive energies. Positive energies, man.
That's what's up, though. So, what do you love about it the most? Like, what is the most satisfying part of your job?
Confirmation. So most of the people that come to me already know what they're looking for, what's going on. That moment, as far as Reiki is concerned, that moment where they're sitting on the table and I'm sitting there and I'm talking to them and I'm telling them things that about themselves that they wouldn't have told anybody else, and their face lights up and they're like, oh my God, how did you know? And I'm like, yeah, you need to do this. Like, stop thinking about it. Just do it. And just being able to help people confirm their purpose is really important to me and really like gratifying to me as well. When the doula side, watching the baby come out, like that's the most.
It's a whole new life.
How many babies have you done?
I have not delivered any because I'm not a midwife.
Right,
no, because people are like, so you just catch the baby. I'm like, no.
Sometimes I'm thinking like sometimes it might get real and you might have to deliver somebody.
Yes, but I am not trying to call that into my existence. Not yet. But so I've been doing that for about 10 years as well. I started probably more like, like 10, 12 years. But I've been doing that. I started doing that when my friend got pregnant. Hooking up some of my own Black Planet.
Took it
Black
back.
Planet.
Oh yeah, took it back. I remember Black Planet.
you know, and she got pregnant. She decided to keep the baby. She didn't have any support, so I decided I was going to support her. And when she had her daughter, that moment was so spiritual. And
chips.
Yes, he can eat some chips.
Give him them chips.
You can just hit him on the side of the head if you got some vodka. Drip a little.
Rub it on his gums.
Mom secrets. Oh damn, he like fuck the chips.
There's blueberries in my purse. I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh,
that's so healthy
it's
though.
A relaxed atmosphere here,
He's like, fuck them chips. I want them blueberries.
Yeah, give me that fruit. We'll eat all
That's
that
the most healthiest
shit.
baby I've ever seen.
He's a vegan baby.
So yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, he did it on his own. Like I'm trying to give him cheese, and he's like, "What?" Alex spits it out.
Oh, that's real.
So
You've been here before,
right? He knows
Yo,
about
know
that
what's
process
up.
stuff.
He know what's up.
But yeah, so we're doing the whole doula thing. That's like women are the actual link between the physical and the spiritual, and so being so close to that without having to go through the entire process every time I want to kind of get like a hit of that like spiritual closeness is beautiful. So
that's a good way to look at it. I wouldn't have thought of it that way.
There are probably some people out there who don't know exactly what a doula is.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I know what it is, but I didn't learn till after. Like, I heard Erykah Badu say she was one. I was like, oh, shit, that's kind of dope. Like, what is that?
So a doula is essentially a birth coach. Come here.
He said, look, enough is enough. Welcome to the camera, buddy. Now you're a star.
Yeah. It's essentially a birth coach, birth advocate. My job is to make sure that the birth goes on without a hitch, and if it does, if the mom, whatever the mom or the parents want, my job is to advocate for that throughout
like the spokesman.
Yeah. So I'm like I call myself like a pregnancy personal assistant.
Okay.
So the doctor come in, you need to speak to me first before you get to talk to my client.
Whoa, what you doing? What you doing? You talk to me.
She would like this.
You talk to me, B.
Yes, we asked for only yellow M&Ms and then regular.
It's gonna be some hood guys out there that's gonna be doulas because they got that strong personality, but they soft at the same time.
They heard this and they're like,
I could do that shit. Hey, whoa, Doc, what you doing? She's sleeping right now.
Whoa.
Whatever you need, you talk to me.
I mean, but that's what it is, and I think that's what you need, a balance of stern, like please back up.
That's dope.
And soft, because the mom needs soft. And some of these medical doctors need a little stern, but respectful, so they don't kick you out the hospital, because that's their prerogative. So it's definitely a balance between the two.
Gotcha. So, I mean, like, do you ever hold any kind of events or special anything?
Yes. So I run with a sister friend of mine. We run a survivors circle, sister circle. So I do that at the end of every month. That is by invitation only. So you gotta hit me on the inbox and tell me why you want to come.
Okay.
But I also teach weekly, Tuesday and Thursday. I teach yoga. And I am currently gearing up to relaunch my campaign. Before my son was born, I was running a health and wellness campaign for geared towards people who did not believe that they had the time or the access to health and wellness. And one of those things also being energy healing and work and stuff like that. And so that campaign was Healing as a Movement. And so we are gearing up to relaunch that, and events will be coming hopefully by the end of the summer into the fall.
I have to keep my eye out for
a lot of energy fitness.
If it's appropriate to ask, what are your rates for like your yoga instruction as well as for the Reiki treatment?
So if you come into the studio, rates for a drop-in is $20 per drop-in. If you're a new yoga student to the studio, I would suggest paying the $25 for the new yogi. Excuse me, you're not even upset. Like goodness, the new yogi special is $25 for 5 classes over 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So you could do that. If you want me to come to your house, that might be something different.
Gotta account for gas
and
dinner,
all that. Me coming to your house and feeling safe and not having to bring my machete or whatever.
Chop a nigga up.
I'm Trini, so.
Yeah.
Take the what, leave the what. Take the what, leave the what.
But so personal rates are kind of on a case by case basis. If I'm doing a group, like if somebody's bringing me into their organization to do a group, I usually charge about $50 for a session. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Reiki is $60 for 60 minutes, $90 for 90 minutes. I usually tell people to start off with the 60-minute, and then after the first one, we decide if they're going to go on to the 90-minute session. So
that's fair, $1 a minute. I think that's very fair.
Word.
But the way Trump acted, we might have to hike them.
What? Need to get my chakras in line.
So
now,
tell people. Oh, you had something?
Yeah.
Go ahead, cuz. No, you go.
Okay. As far as like the Reiki, right? Like, I know what it is. I've heard about it.
People may not know.
Okay. But is it more than just like getting your chakras aligned and like a cleansing of your energetic field? That was there you go, shorty. There you go.
So elevator speech of what Reiki is. Reiki is hands-on healing that aligns your 7 major chakras. We've got chakras all along our body line, all out in our aura and all these other places. We've got 7 main chakra points on our body. There's the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the brow, and the crown.
My sacral is the most out of whack.
Okay. So we need to talk because the sacral governs creativity. And so as an artist and as, an entrepreneur, a personality.
Yeah, trust me, there's a reason I want to do this. I can tell that it's my sacral the most out of whack in my heart chakra.
That's
so
real.
the heart. Oh, so wait, let me go back to answer your question.
Right. Yeah.
No. I can just talk about this all day. But so that's what Reiki is. And from practitioner to practitioner, your experience is going to vary. I can speak personally for myself. I send energy, I send love, I send healing light to your chakra energies, but also because I am sensitive and empathic, you're not going to leave my office without having some type of intuitive experience. So it's a little bit more than just kind of realigning your chakras.
Does like sacred geometry and all of that tie into that as well?
I mean, I guess. I don't know. I fail geometry.
Does it?
It falls under the same umbrella because it's metaphysics.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's the thing. So for me, in a session, I pull in a number of different things to help, another number of different tools to help. So I use crystals. I use singing bowls. I use essential oils. I use lighted herbs. I heard
that lighted herb shit really works.
Like sage?
Not the same. But yes.
I burn sage through my house.
She knew where I was going with it, you cornball.
I knew what you meant. I had to bring it back.
Just rein it in. But yeah, so I would say with sage, sage clears out all energy, negative and positive. So I normally will burn sage with the sweetgrass or with the lavender or something like that. So you're clearing the energy, but you're also inviting the positive back in.
I need to do that.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah. I've definitely heard of the sage, but I've never heard of like other herbs like helping it and enhancing like the spirits coming in.
There's a metaphysics shop called Crystals, Candles, and
Cauldrons.
Yeah. I've been there once, but I really
sounds familiar.
I've mentioned it before. Yeah, it's in Hamden.
All right, yeah.
They probably have that kind of stuff there, right?
They have all of that stuff.
Yeah. I feel like you see a lot of crystals, a lot of places though.
I got a good amount of crystals the first time I went. Now I just keep them at work. I used to keep them on me, but I keep them at work in my booth now. But you know,
how can somebody authentically find genuine crystals?
You had to go and look and let it resonate with you.
Okay.
So it usually starts with, ooh, I like it, it looks pretty.
All right.
And then you pick it up if it feels good, if you feel something
like
or
you
whatever.
feel like, it made me feel
I like this.
I like
you just feel connected to
it.
it.
You're just like, this is mine, I want it.
Because it's kind of a living thing essentially because it's from the earth, so you can connect with it. So.
Right. So
that don't mean go into the stores and if you see it, take it, buy it, people.
They are
buy
it,
people.
They are for sale. They are for sale.
And I would also say when you get into purchasing stones, because you're not the first person that's picked it up and looked at it, when you get it home, you want to cleanse the stone.
Okay.
So sit it out in the sun, sit it out in the moonlight, run it under some cold water.
Also like a natural cleansing.
Yeah, not like wash it. Don't.
Oh, because my ass hurt. I'm like, worm or grab some down.
So you can.
Hey, that bitch looking shiny.
For some stones, you can put them in the freezer. You can set them in some salt to clear them.
You can wash them in Florida water.
Florida water too. Yes, Florida water.
Whoa.
You know, I know a few things.
Florida water.
Shout out to Amber.
Do you have to go to Florida for this water?
It's
called a cologne, but it's used in spiritual processes for blessing.
It's like a pray over water.
Like Dracar Noir.
Holy water on that side.
Right, but it's more aromatic. And it's used for spiritual ceremonies.
So like my Yanni eggs were cleansed in Florida water.
Word.
Nice. What kind of yoni egg do you have?
I have black jade.
Oh shoot, that's serious.
Those are heavy duty ones.
Yes.
I don't think
some magic poem. I'm scared.
I said because I don't know. I feel like I don't wear them that often because I feel like my vagina reacts to them. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Oh.
Like okay.
I get too lubricated.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
like
so
there's a lot of activity going on.
Yeah, so I don't wear it very often.
What
I got the happening? 3 set, like the big, the medium, and the small.
And the small.
They just go in your vagina and stay in there.
Yeah, they're weights. So yoni.
They're weights.
So they're good for working on your pelvic floor, and when you're a woman, especially going.
That's what I was thinking.
Pregnancy and birth, you need to strengthen your pelvic floor.
There's a spiritual side too,
right?
Though, right?
There's definitely a spiritual side, but on the more practical and where they came from, it's kind of it's a muscle. So to work it out, you want to practice pulling it up and pushing it out and pulling it around and things like that.
You don't even feel it when it's in there though.
Right.
It's just in there. And it's a rock.
Right. And so the spiritual side comes in with the different type of stone you use. So each crystal, crystals in general have different properties and different healing attributes.
Speak to the black tea. So what does mine mean exactly? Because I don't really know what mine means. So jade is the yoni eggs before they kind of blew up were called jade eggs, and they were called jade eggs because they were made just out of jade. Normally, that's how you would find them. Jade is a feminine stone. It's about femininity and power and your femininity and things like that. But like when I hear black is kind of like protection. Black is spiritual. Black is unknown. Black is like I'm about to get this work done.
Word.
So I have a friend who just told me that she has a black obsidian. That is extra potent and, for spiritual work and for manifesting and, dare I say, witchcraft. But I don't like the word witch. Witch it's got a bad connotation.
Yeah, because the connotation. But I mean, everything that we're talking about essentially falls under that hat to the people. That
witchcraft?
Yeah, essentially. But it's like to religious folk, they consider it that. Not
when in all actuality, you can open any holy book and find
the same
property, the same ideas.
It's more so kind of derivative of where we're from, isn't it? More so like from like African roots per se. Essentially, that's kind of where it came from. But it's
a lot of stuff that comes from African roots.
They took our culture from us and gave us theirs. But that's a whole nother conversation for another day. And then they called it bad. You know what I mean? So that's why it's a negative connotation with it.
That's why I don't believe voodoo is bad.
That I don't either.
That's not.
I have some
spiritual tradition.
I got some rolled open oil in my purse right now.
Word. That's dope.
Yeah.
So these are all tools. I presented to a group of public allies at University of Maryland today on this very same subject, and what I had to make clear was all of these things that we're talking about they're tools. Just like if you're praying and you're Christian, you would have a cross, and that would help you focus more on your prayers.
Word.
You can pray and have crystals, and that can help you focus more on your intention of whatever the crystals are. So they're tools. It's not necessarily a religion or you saying that you're subscribing to identifying a specific source.
Right, you're using it for what you're using it
for.
Uh-oh.
You're using it to... He hit his hand. He always hit his hand.
Oh my God, no.
But yeah, so you're using it to become closer to whatever your means, whatever your desires are. So.
Manifesting it more. I heard you say that a couple times, like throughout this conversation. So, manifestation, like, I know when it comes to me, I love to manifest my destiny. Like, I speak it into existence. I literally put it out there into the universe so much that it's like it's going to happen.
That's what you got. Law of attraction.
Where it messes up with me is I think I spend so much time throwing it into the universe that I'm waiting that I'm putting a time limit on it for myself.
You can't just say it's
true. Yeah, you gotta make your actions and everything match as well. But
so this is what I can offer to that. When it comes to law of attraction, I would ask you to look up Abraham Hicks.
Okay.
Google that.
Write that down for a player.
But there is an entire series of books and study around this entity called Abraham.
Okay.
And Abraham speaks about the process of manifestation. And according to this entity that is channeled through someone else, the process is asking, which you can identify as prayer, and then there's asking, then there is excuse me, I'm drawing a blank. You ask, and then you are grateful. You show gratitude. You expect it to happen, so that's why you're grateful.
Right.
And then you allow it to happen. So there's not a lot of having to do anything.
Right.
We've been taught as a society that you can't get anything through any other way but hard work. And so because that's our thought, because that's our belief, we can't manifest anything without doing that. But if you can switch that belief that the universe is just open to me and is just dropping whatever it is that I'm asking on me when I'm ready for it, you don't have to do anything. You can
just
sit.
Gonna come when it happens.
And it comes.
I'm a whole shit up.
That's real. That's so real though. Like when you think
about it, meditation is a key part of allowing, because when you're thinking about it, when you're like, why isn't it here? Why isn't it here? Do I still want it? I asked for this. So first of all, if you're constantly asking for things, it's not overwhelming to the universe, but it's eventually going to overwhelm you, because you can get everything that you're asking for, and you will get everything that you're asking for. So if you don't take the time to stop, at some point you're going to be like, why do I got 5 girlfriends and 2 cars that I can't pay for? Because you was jumping around. So it's being intentional about what you want, being clear about what you want, and then expecting it and knowing that it's going to happen. Like, there's a difference between wanting it to happen and being excited that it could possibly happen and knowing that it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And then meditating and clearing yourself out and knowing you don't have to do anything. And in that moment of clarity, in that moment of stillness, is when those things are unlocked. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's not making them happen. It's not, well, if I do this and do this, then it's going to happen. That's not really what this entity is saying the universe is set up like. It's set up as you can have whatever you want. You just have to follow these 3 rules, and then
more so making yourself susceptible to change.
We're gonna definitely check that out, but we gotta wrap up our interview.
Yes,
I want to thank you so much for coming by. It was awesome to find out all about you and what you do. I hope you guys learned something, and I hope you guys hit her up because I know I will be.
Hell yeah!
Get my Reiki session. Yes. Get my shit together.
Yes, and so the website is www.therisingmama.com. You can find me on Instagram, _rising_mama, Facebook, Anna Temple Rodney, or you can search The Rising Mama on Facebook as well.
Thank you so
much.
There
you go.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to take our first music break of the evening. You already know that it is radioonfire.com, your news, sports, and entertainment source. Please stay tuned. We shall return.